Hiya! Welcome! Got 3 record pickups to show you today. 2 of them 7-inch singles, 1 an album, 3 coloured records. Well, one of them isn't coloured as such. That's the first one I'm going to show you. Some very limited pieces here as well. The second thing that I'm going to show you, I did allude to that in a previous video and it finally turned up, but we'll get onto that in due course. First thing I want to show you is from an artist who I collected a lot in, I think that was last year really, and this has been her first new release in quite some time, purchased via Bandcamp. She sent out an email via Bandcamp just to let her fans know that it was coming out. It wasn't her Bandcamp page, it was a different independent labels page, but either way, I'm talking about a brand new single from People Like Us. This is Free Sunshine. So this has been made in very limited quantities by a record label that are based somewhere here in the UK, Heaven's Lathe. And it's just a 2-track 7-inch single, lathe cut, which I don't really understand much about that, but apparently that type of record pressing warrants you needing a bit of an instruction card there, so it just gives you instructions how to clean your record. I mean, it'll be the same sort of process for cleaning any record really, but I think if you've got a lathe cut record, they may be more susceptible to dust and stuff. I'm not really sure. As you can see, mine is individually numbered. It's number 43 out of 100. The classed as just 2 A-sides there. Free Money and Eve of Sunshine. Both tracks are excerpts from live AV performances by People Like Us, 2015's Citation City, and 2013's Consequences, One Thing Leads to Another. It also has People Like Us official web address on there as well. So really excited when I got the email from Vicky Bennett, People Like Us, telling me that she had a new single out. Not really had a massively close look at this either. It's come with 2 different inner sleeves. I think this one's got an anti-static lining as well. So there's your lathe cut single. Wow, look at that. That is kind of unique really, properly see-through, and it's not even like your traditional centre label, just all the audio obviously is on the outside. It is double-sided, I think. I'm going to have to double check before I even play this. I've had this now for about a week and a half, something like that, but I've not actually played it yet. Yeah, that is certainly a different looking single there, only 100 of these made. Wow, what a really nice single. And this Heaven's Lathe record label, apparently they put out one of these really limited lathe cut 7-inch singles every month. I wouldn't necessarily be wanting any more records from the label themselves unless it was another artist that I collected anyway or was familiar with. But I'll certainly be following them on Bandcamp and seeing if they do anything else interesting. But a new People Like Us single, well, even though the tracks on it are fairly old but have never been released in this kind of format before, had to have it. Also came with a pretty good quality protective outer sleeve there as well. But that's People Like Us and Free Sunshine. On to another 7-inch single and a coloured disc at that. Now then, it would have been not too long ago I did my 3rd Rammstein Mega Vinyl haul video. And near the end of that I talked about a record of Rammstein's, a single that I'd ordered from Ukraine. I'd ordered it like the end of May. I think it got dispatched the 1st of June. And we'd got to nearly the end of July, and it was still stuck at Kiev airport. And I'll show you what I said at the time. It was from a seller in Ukraine. Now then, a lot of Ukrainian sellers and Russian sellers for obvious reasons have been blocked at a lot of sites, and I think some have blocked themselves on Discogs, but it's kind of like you take your chances really on there. It is out there, but it's just stuck in a Ukrainian airport, and God knows when it's going to actually move. The fact that I was able to send via PayPal a payment to a really nice chap in the Ukraine, maybe against his better judgment, he's still trying to make as much money as possible during a really difficult period for him and his family. But there is a happy ending to the tale, because it actually turned up. And here it is. It was brand new and sealed. I decided to open it and just have a look at the disc myself before I showed you here on YouTube. But it's Rammstein's single from, I think this is going to be 2011, Mein Land. So this was the one remaining Rammstein single that I needed to more or less complete the collection. I've mentioned in the previous Rammstein video there's kind of exceptions to that, but some of those I'm unlikely to ever get. The hype sticker was on the cellophane on the outside. I decided to carefully peel that off and stick it on the front itself. Got a really nice inner here. Of course, the sleeve itself is certainly a homage to American surf groups kind of thing. Very Beach Boys-esque, but rather tongue-in-cheek, of course. I'll just quickly show you the disc itself. There we are, nice orange there. Fantastic. 2-track 7-inch single again. This was the one single that was taken from Rammstein's very first compilation, made in Germany 1995 to 2011, or was it 94 to 2011? That compilation made in Germany anyway. And the 2 tracks on here are Mainland, track number 1, and the B-side, which I have heard before because I did used to have this on CD single some years ago, Vergiss uns nicht. I'm delighted that this did show up. I wasn't hopeful, but then I wasn't completely writing it off either, because I'd been tracking it and it was out there. It was just sat at Kiev airport, and it was like, well, I know I've not been ripped off. I was happy to help out a Ukrainian seller at such a difficult time for that country, and I couldn't find it any cheaper anywhere else anyway. So just having to wait for it really paid off, because it did turn up. But yeah, that was a real bonus to finally get this almost 2 months after I'd bought it, but hey, better late than never. Rammstein with Mainland. Final record show you today. As you can see, it's a lot bigger, therefore we've got an album here. This was from an eBay seller in America. It was another one kind of similar to a recent one that I had on eBay, where I didn't have to pay any taxes to them. Well, I suppose it's not to them, it's to, you know, the tax authorities. I don't know why some things you have to pay a load of customs and stuff for and others you don't. But either way, let's get this open. It's for a duo who I've been collecting loads in recently, and the price of this, oh by the way, the People Like Us single, that was about a tenner, maybe a little more with postage. And the Rammstein Mainland single, yeah, that was expensive. That was including customs and international delivery, was almost £60. Looks like we've got a sticky invoice. Fantastic, I'm really happy I got this. It's Erasure's Christmas album, Snow Globe. This is another piece in the Erasure Studio Albums puzzle. I've mentioned about this album, about how this is one of the few remaining wants on my Erasure wants list. It's got a hype sticker there that talks about limited edition double coloured vinyl with some bonus tracks and a digital copy. So similar to the previous Erasure album that I bought, Tomorrow's World, the second disc does contain some remixes. But funny one to get here at the height of summer, but don't matter to me. I wanted this, I've got it. And the price, I was going to tell you the price before, and I started talking about the price for the other things. Very good. I think postage was something daft, like $4 from America to the UK, and no taxes, and the album itself something like about $22, $23. So I don't think I paid much more than about £25-ish all in for this. I will get it open for you so we can have a look at the coloured disc, or discs, although I think they're both the same colour, so I might as well only show you one. Nice easy slice there with the tweezers. There's one of your inners with a nice cartoony drawing of Vince and Andy. And that's the back of it. And let's take a look at the disc. Yep, it's a nice white record, which makes sense really. You think of your Christmassy colours, it's going to be white, possibly gold or silver, maybe red. Red's often very Christmassy, but yeah, with an album called Snow Globe, I mean, it had to be a white record really, didn't it? So there's cover versions of Christmas stuff on here, there's original compositions from Erasure, and I think certainly on the second disc, which is here by the way, I'll show it you, although I think it's the same as the other one, there's even reworkings and remixes of earlier Christmas related stuff that they released on the Crackers International EP, which came out all the way back in the late 80s. Yep, it's another white one, lovely centre labels there as well. Really nicely designed this. Didn't think I'd get this anywhere near as good a price as what it was. Made up with this, really am. Back in its sleeve, Erasure Snow Globe. I'll have put the release date on the screen earlier on, as I would have for the 2 singles as well. So there we are, a very limited 100 piece clear lathe cut single by People Like Us. Another rare, not necessarily due to the supposed numbers it was pressed in, just something that is difficult to find unless you're willing to pay a silly amount of money. Rammstein Orange Disc single, and for me, simply because it was a bargain on eBay, this has got to be the record of the day for me really. But the 2 disc Snow Globe white vinyl LP from Erasure. There is only now 1 Erasure studio album that I need to complete that particular collection, but it's one that goes for ridiculous money. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look at 2 singles and an album here today. I want to say special thanks as always to my wonderful subscribers and my generous, gorgeous patrons. Please see my Patreon link, Facebook group link, and a link for contents insurance. That's all down in the description text box, don't you know? I'm going to go now, and I need to listen to all 3 of these. I mean, Mineland, I've got the Made in Germany album it's on, and I also used to have the CD single back in the day, so that's not exactly a high priority, but I'm just so happy it eventually turned up. But certainly need to get listening to Free Sunshine by People Like Us and Erasure's Snow Globe as soon as possible, and feel all festive in summertime. I don't really feel that festive at Christmas time, to be honest, but that's a different story. Anyway, I'm going to go now, listen to those, and I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next record collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!